What's up, Erie? It's Luke Bollinger, Development and Neighborhood Services Division Manager for the Town of Erie Parks and Recreation Department. With you once again for another video series. We're going to name this one Erie's Old House. I'm out here at Schofield Open Space inside the farmhouse, which we're currently rehabilitating back to its original condition with some modern upgrades. But we're really excited about this project and what it's going to mean to the Erie community, the Schofield farm, its history, and really what it's going to mean for the next phase of Schofield and what we're going to do out here. So with this series, we're just gonna go old school, and if you remember this old house, that's kind of what we're going to do. We're going to sit down with our contractors here, and they're going to walk us through, some different things about the house and what we're doing and what we're going to do with it. We'll also talk about some history, which I think is really cool. So let's get into it. Let's talk about Schofield. So welcome to this first edition of Erie's Old House, the rehabilitation of the Schofield Farmhouse. And to really understand what this means to the Erie community, I think we got to talk a little bit about the history. So really briefly, let's talk about what Schofield Farm is. It's located at 2203 North 111th Street. Obviously in Erie, it's in Boulder County. The property is owned by the town of Erie and comprises of 75 acres total, 35 acres of Erie Lake, and 40 acres of the Schofield Farm. The remaining 40 acres was once a larger property of approximately 320 acres of land purchased originally by Hiram Prince from the Union Pacific Railroad between the years 1889 and 1891. Now, Hiram Prince was born in Mobile, Alabama in May of 1824. Records indicate that he was a sailor in his early life, and in the early 1850s, he relocated to St. Louis, Missouri. In 1856, he married Helen Mary Lindsay. Records are not perfectly clear, but it appears that they had 5 children. In 1863, Hiram and Mary moved west to the Denver area via wagon train. Hiram opened up a blacksmith shop, and it was noted in his obituary that the first omnibus ever used in Denver was built there. He served as the state water commissioner under Governor Maxwell for 5 years, and from 1885 to 1889, he served as the member of the state legislature. It should be noted that the state capitol building was yet to be constructed during his service, and it was said that Hiram was instrumental in the creation of Colorado's state government. He was also on the Board of Education and was given the name the father of Denver schools. So a little tidbit there. According to an article in the Lafayette Leader in 1870, he sold his business in Denver and the family moved to Boulder County. In 1889, the first deed appears where Hiram Prince purchased 160 acres of land from the Union Pacific Railroad. Forget this, $1,080. On July 11th, 1891, Hiram purchased another 160 acres from the Union Pacific Railroad. On February 21st, 1892, Hiram and Mary's daughter, Molly, Mary and Prince, marries Alfonso Schofield. And in 1893, Hiram deeds 96 acres to Mary and Alfonso. The main house, the house that I'm in right now, was constructed sometime between 1893 and 1896. There is some conflicting records as to the exact date. It is likely some of the outbuildings began to be erected on the property. Mary and Alfonso have 4 children: Mary, Emma, Archibald J., Walter H., and George. So that's kind of the first look at the Schofield history. And as we move along in our series, Erie's Old House, we will get more into the history and how it became an Erie gem. So let's walk through the house a little bit and see what we've done so far. All right, with the first edition of Erie's Old House here at Schofield, we're gonna do a quick walk around of the house to get you a lay of the house. And as we start moving through construction, you can kind of see the transformation. I think the first thing you'll notice if you've ever been out to Schofield is the removal of the 1980s sunroom addition. Now this is non-conforming, which means it wasn't original to the house when it was originally built, sometime between 1893 and 1896. So we went ahead and removed that. This is actually where the original porch was, which we're gonna restore. So we're on the east side of the house now. One of the questions I get a lot is what was the original color of the house? Well, obviously we can't, Google what the color was back in 1893, but through paint analysis and historic photos and interviews, we can see that it was this original red brick color, even with the original red mortar in here. So what crews are gonna do is they're gonna come in, they're gonna strip all the old white paint off, repoint all of the mortar in between the bricks, and then repaint it this original red color. All right, now we're inside the house, which is actually much colder in here than it is outside. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna briefly walk around, give you just a quick snapshot of the layout of the building, talk about what the original use was, and then talk about how we're gonna use it with the rehabilitation. Starting on the first floor, we have the original kitchen. Panning here to the right, we have the original bathroom, which we're expanding to be ADA compliant. Moving through the house, we have the first floor bedroom, which was actually 2 bedrooms at one point. You can see the insides of the wall here, which we'll repurpose into an office space. Here is where we're gonna have all of our mechanical, electrical connections. Coming inside the house, we have this, what we're gonna call kind of the gathering area. Nice big open room. Again, you can kind of see the original studs here. And then I just walked into what was the dining room, and we'll turn that into kind of like a mini conference space. All right, heading upstairs here, which will be more staff offices. We pulled up the carpet. The original floorboards are in great shape, so we're gonna refinish those. We're gonna stabilize the roof structure. We've got 1 bathroom upstairs, and 2 bedrooms originally, which we're gonna turn into offices. And then in these different kind of crawl spaces here, you can kind of see, well, there you go. You can kind of see what we're doing, working on stabilizing the roof. Just want to show you the view here of the second floor office. Can't beat that, can you? All right, that wraps up episode 1 of Erie's Old House. I hope you can join me for additional episodes as we finish Schofield Farmhouse rehabilitation. Luke Bollinger for Erie Parks and Recreation. Until next time.